I want to read something that you put on Facebook earlier on that I found very, very interesting. I'll just read it out. Over the years, my relationship with playing concerts has changed. At the beginning, it was all adrenaline and excitement. Now they are a symbol of perseverance and sacrifice. Is it indicative of your age now?
I mean, there's a massive journey with any musician, not just me. I mean, generally, what starts, it becomes something that you hear other bands. For me, it was Eddie Van Halen and bands from that era. That all of a sudden music comes into your life, and you sort of go, "This is wonderful." Where would we be without music? And then you decide to learn to play an instrument, which even if you practice for 50 years, you're still a beginner. You don't know this at the beginning. You think, I just want to play like Van Halen, or I just want to play like George Lynch or whoever. But then you realize, my God, it just takes over your entire world. You wake up in the morning. That's what it was like for me, literally 24/7. All I thought about was playing music. I never went to...
From what age?
I mean, when I heard the Sex Pistols, Pretty Vacant, that was very much the start, just hearing that guitar riff.
Yeah.
Something happened inside me where I just went, I need to know what that is. And then very quickly discovered all the bands like The Clash and the Buzzcocks and all those sort of punk bands.
So you would have been around 9 at the time?
Yeah,
you were around the same age as me, and that came out in 76.
Yeah,
so
9, 10.
About 9, yeah.
So it was very, very, very early in my life that triggered within me. And then, of course, once you let music into your life, you're constantly trying to seek new sources. And then I found Van Halen 1 and the first Montrose album.
Yeah.
These were the two big catalysts for me going, well, I know what I want to do, but now it's this style of music. So then I started to just consume all guitar players, everything. It was all guitar related. And then you dedicate your life to playing. Then you form your first bands, and of course you've got no family, you don't have a job or anything like that, so you can divert all of your time and attention. But as years go on, and then you get into the music business, and you suddenly realize how hard it is, not only to form a successful band, to write successful songs, then record them in a way that would be commercially acceptable to the world. Then the pressures of going on tour, then the pressures of keeping those bandmates together, then the reality that there's very little money in music, and then you have wives and children, and then you've got to support them, but still keep your passion going because it's been inside you since the age of 10, and you still wake up in the morning thinking, if only I could write a riff like this, but you've still got all this other life going on. And year after year after year, it's very hard to maintain that level of intensity.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like a Premiership footballer. You wouldn't, if you play for Manchester United or Real Madrid or Barcelona, you don't think, well, as long as I'm playing in the park somewhere, that's all that matters, because you always remember what it was like to go out on stage at Wembley, or what it was like to go out at Download, or what it was like to hear a certain singer sing in a certain way. It's like that very high levels of performance that are required to be good, to not just be making up the numbers, that you go out there and you deliver with the same passion that your heroes had when you were a kid. So for me, that's what I mean about the perseverance. It's like I wake up this morning, first thing I do is go downstairs and practice the set. I play the set that we're going to play tonight.
Okay.
Takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I do that before breakfast, and I do that every single morning before anything happens. And it's those levels of, that's what I mean by perseverance. It's like it would be easy to go, so I did it yesterday, but Ronaldo wouldn't think like that, or Usain Bolt wouldn't think like that. It's kind of like, if you want to stay up there, so that's what I mean by perseverance. And the sacrifice is that, like tonight, all the guys here, they have family, they have jobs.
Yeah.
No one's making any money to do this. So they're being away from the people they love. They're not making money doing it, but because of their burning desire to still play music at a high level, that is what it becomes about, because it's so easy not to do it. This is tough. It's a tough industry to survive in.
It is. I mean, I don't want to go down the road of, because you've been in the industry a long, long time now. I don't want to go down the road of how is it different to the old days, but it is. It's completely different now, isn't it?
It's a completely
I
different
mean,
world.
there's no advances from record companies any longer.
No.
I mean, the project that we're going to come on to in a minute, it's all self-funded.
Yeah, I mean, the absolute reality is when the digital age came, the industry, the music industry, had to adapt, and they didn't. And now, whereas record companies, I mean, if you've ever seen a record deal, you will see that it's incredibly one-sided.
Yeah.
You know, and it was never a particularly good deal for the bands anyway, and you were never going to recoup. You know, so it's always been tough. Like even when we were in Skin, so we were signed to Parlophone Records, massive record label, one of the biggest there was. We received, I think, £100,000, which sounds like a lot of money.
Is that for the first album?
Yeah, yeah, but that was our first advance. So 100 grand. Manager instantly takes 20,000 off it. Bang. You've got 4 members in the band. That's meant to last you a year. 20 grand.
And make an album.
Yeah. Well, the album costs go on top, you know, but 20 grand a year to live isn't very much. I mean, we were literally living on £100 a week for the entire duration of Skin. When we had a top 10 album, top 20 singles, that's what we were living on. At one, but everything runs its cycle, you know, and the industry changed. Then we went to an independent label, and then you realize the massive difference between the two. All of a sudden, there's no videos. All of a sudden, there's no adverts in magazines because they can't afford it. And so you had to change. And on top of that, you're giving away your art. You're giving away your work. It's not easy to write songs. It's not easy to record them. And you're handing them over for peanuts, and you've handed them over forever.
Yeah.
You know, so I just made a very conscious decision. When Skin reformed in 2009 to play Download, I approached our old record label, to see if they would re-release the Skin albums. And they said no. And I was like, but we're just playing Download to like 75,000 people. Can I at least buy them from you? Nope. They just flatly refused. And then it dawned on me, it's like, I don't own these. These are nothing to do with me now.
Was it at that point you decided that you were going to go on your own for the rest of your releases?
Yeah. At this moment in time, unless someone makes an offer, you know, where it's justified that you're going to hand over your art for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, and from then, I've had control over it. It's tough, don't get me wrong, you know, but I'd rather have control over something, you know, than just give it away for nothing.
Yeah.